Here are 4 reasons why your fades suck. All right. So, number 1, your fades have harsh guidelines. Now, this is quite common. I see this a lot. Not really so much on Instagram because no one really wants to post a fade with harsh guidelines on Instagram. But I see it more kind of live in the flesh. I'll see a fade and the skin line's still there. Between the skin line and the zero, it's still there. It's just not really that aesthetic. And it kind of off-puts your entire fade. Even people that have no knowledge of barbers or no knowledge of haircuts, they can see that and they can tell, it looks a little choppy. Oh, is that line supposed to be there, Jonty? And it's an easy fix. It's a very easy fix. You can just grab your foil shaver and you just tap down on the line. You just tap down on the line. It's a great way to fix it. You can use your corners of it as well. And that's just really what's going to help elevate your fades and just fix your fades, because it's quite common and it's quite annoying to see as well. It's annoying because, like, as a barber, I can see, I know exactly how to get rid of that line just by looking at it, sorry. And when I do see that in person, it can be quite frustrating. I was with my mate. We're going to dinner, and he's a barber now as well. There was a guy in front of us walking, and we saw that it was just such a choppy fade. And he was saying to me, he said, "Jonty, bro, people think that's fresh." And I was like, yeah, I was lost for words. Anyways, so having harsh lines in your fades, that's like the skin line. It could be, sorry if I'm rambling, it could be maybe one of your guidelines just isn't faded out completely and it's left a harsh fade. Sorry, it's left a harsh line. So if it's a skin line, get your foil, tap down on the line, and if it's a little higher in the fade, try using your corners or maybe going one step below that length that you did and try flicking out a lot. That might help you. Number 2, your guidelines are too close together or they're too stretched. So this is a bit interesting because there are some fades that kind of, where people like more of a compressed look. There are some fades that people like more stretched out. That creates a bit more of a blurry look. The closer the guidelines are together, the darker and more compressed it's going to look. But there's a fine line. There's a big fine line. A lot of the time, there's just a fine line, right? Aesthetically, if the bottom of your fade is compressed too much, but then the top end is stretched, it's not going to look good. But then if the bottom is stretched, but the top is a little compressed, you might be able to get away with that. But again, there is a fine line as well. So that could be what's making your fades look terrible. So see, okay, maybe do I need to make this guideline a little bigger? Do I need to shrink this guideline? So it's all really just trial and error. The next time you do a haircut that you feel, okay, the fade didn't come out as well, it's a little choppy, think about it your next haircut. Okay, maybe here I can expand and stretch the guideline a little bit, or maybe here in this section of the fade, I can shrink the guideline so it's a bit more compressed. Now, you're probably thinking, why would you listen to me? Now, I've been a barber for 9 years, almost a decade. I started when I was 14. I'm 22 now, 23 in July. And I help men go from being unconfident to having true, unshakable confidence in themselves. So I know how to cut hair. I'm not super perfect. I don't offer, or I don't market picture perfect Instagram haircuts, but I know what I'm doing. And yeah, my work speaks for itself. All right, what's number 3? So I keep checking my watch. I got a cut in 9 minutes. It's 9:51 now. I've got to cut at 10. Okay. Your fade is uneven. The fading up. Oh, your fade is uneven. So let's say you do. Let's say you set in your first guideline and you're doing no guard, open. And that guideline, well, what it could be that's ruining your fades is that you have your guideline and this area in between here is not even. So let's say you do so this is no guard open. Let's say you do no guard closed or whatever up to here. But then instead of it being straight, it's a bit up and down, up and down. Now, naturally, it's not going to be perfectly the same length. But if it's too choppy, that could be really offsetting your fades. You'll be able to tell. Sometimes there are just fades that you look at and it's like, oh, it just doesn't flow like a river. It's a little choppy. Choppy is probably the perfect way to put it. Your fades just look choppy. Maybe your guidelines aren't super straight. Maybe they don't flow. Maybe instead of doing this, they're a little like this, if that makes a bit of sense. All right. You'll be able to tell if you look at the fade and you feel like, okay, it's choppy. It's a messy fade. Your scissor work, or number 4, your scissor work needs, Your scissor work needs work. Kind of simple. Maybe the hair that you're cutting isn't even. Maybe you just don't know the hairstyles that well. Let's say your client asks for a comb over, but then maybe just the shape looks a bit off. You just got to do your due diligence and just learn and just watch comb over videos and see how, okay, do they blend in the sides? Do they leave a bit of overhang on the fringe? Do they completely disconnect it? You just got to do your due diligence there if it's for scissor work. And a bonus, your lineups are bad. Bad lineups. This pisses me off. But it also really, I use that to kind of market to my clients because I know my lineups are perfect because I've created a system to get a perfect symmetrical lineup every single time. And I'm going to tell you here because no other barber's going to use it. Don't worry about other barbers watching this video and copying it. They're not going to use it. They're just going to still do whatever. The perfect way to get a perfect lineup is to use your client's facial structure. So with the vertical bars, use the angle of their forehead. That's all you got to do. It's going to perfectly match and look symmetrical to your client. With the hairline, just constantly look in the mirror, client, mirror, client. Take a few steps back. The vertical bars, maybe one might be a bit further away than the other. It doesn't matter too much. It used to for me back in the day, but nowadays it doesn't really matter too much because if you look straight on, it may look as though the lineup is perfect, even if it's not super perfect like this. It could be offset like this, but then maybe straight on, when it's like this, it's perfectly straight. But for the vertical bars, forehead. Get the angle of your forehead, bring it to the side. And you also know how much to push it back. If someone's receding, just do your best to go as close to that angle without pushing him back. Some people might want you to push them back. You might not be able to all the time. And that's really it. 9 minutes, perfect. All right, so if this helps you, look, I'm on Instagram. I post daily updates, daily content, and just my life in general. And if you're in Sydney, Australia, and you're watching this, you want to go from being unconfident to having true confidence in yourself through the way that you look and your appearance and your presentation, book your haircut with me, link below, Instagram below. I'll see you in the next one.